We're going live. How's it going, boys and girls? This is Michael. It is, Wednesday? And I'm about to make two 20 by 40 Stinemates floater frames and some stretcher bars for the canvases that are going to go in those floater frames. And what I'm going to do is take up a bunch of time and show you how I do what I do while I do it. I don't know if I'm going to show you how I do. I'm just going to show you what I do. So first, I need to set the camera up so we can see where we're going to cut. We're going to cut all the stretcher bars here, or the frames here on my, actually let's do this. Maybe that'll be better. Put these up here and make that go like that. Make the camera face down. Sorry about not prepping it like properly. There we are, and that's the phone attached to some wiggly diggly tripod. Yes. So we start with 1x to make the inside bottom of the stretcher of the frame. We're going to start with the frames first, the back of the floater frames, 20 by 30. So what we want to do is start our first corner. This here is a guillotine chopper or so. No blades to cut anything, and it makes really wonderful edges. And I'm just using some straight pine. It's all going to get painted. I'm going to start out at 2 of these. They're going to go 21 and 20, ½ inch on each side. 1. Right there, and here we go. 4 of these. And that's 4. And that's a junk piece. See that? Look at how nice that thing cuts just by chopping. It's amazing. It won't focus on that, will it? How about right about there? Yeah, doesn't work. Anyways, so now we need 2 40-inchers. That might just make, actually 41, because I need a ½ inch on both sides. You're probably not going to see all the way down to the edge over here when I'm going to measure 41. But I only need to do it once. See, I just set the registration there, and bam, there we go. So there's a 40, and another 40. 3 more. You know what? I might want to save that piece of wood because it's got those cool knots in it. So we're going to go with this. Soft wood. Here we go. So that's 2. And 2 more. One. Junk piece. And 1 more. Here we go. So now, I could make the outside edges, but I need them to fit more accurately. So I'm going to make the inside first, and then the outside. So let's see what we got. I'm going to move the camera. I know this is annoying as ever, but here's the stretcher bars I plan on using. Or not stretcher bars, these are the bars I use to make the base of the floater frames. And I should probably bring that a little bit closer. And we'll bring these together now. I'll do a short end and a long end. I don't glue them because they come together real nice. my manufacturing process, so I don't really need to put glue on these on the top edges, and more finished frames I do. Make sure everything's proper. Hit inside of the wood. There we go. I don't have the greatest joiner here. Could use a much better one, but it does the job. And I'm sure there's plenty of framers out there looking at me going, oh my God, that guy's really screwing up. Well, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Because I've never made frames before in my life, and just going by, look at that. That's a 25 by 40 back of the frame, of the floater frame. So that's one of them. Make the second one. This is just that. Always like the flat side up, makes it prettier. Back together. Shorty. Beautiful. And last joint. So now I need to make the outside edge for these. And in order to do that, I love to make them first so I can make a much more accurate measurement of this length here. So when I put the edge on it, the part that sticks around the outside, it's going to fit a little tighter. I don't want any gaps to fall through. So these are almost pretty much exact. So that being said, I'll probably just go with what I have from one measurement and just use it on both. We're gonna probably eventually be cutting here. So how can I make it so you can see both? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. This doesn't go wider, does it? No. So hopefully you'll be able to see. I'm going to make it so you can see what I'm doing down here because it's going to be a little bit more important to get a grasp of the kind of cuts I need to do. Okay, I can bring the wood over here a little bit more and show you what I need to do. Is I need to measure so I can make it exact. That's a 41 and a little past the 16th. And that's a 41, a little past 16th. So we're gonna go 441s, a little past the 16th. And this is gonna sit on the edge now. Not flat, but on the edge. So we're gonna do this. Bring this in. That. Pieces of wood in there could help off-skew things. So you always kind of want to make sure that's clean. Yeah, right. And this is going to be 41, so I want to bring it over like the 16th like I did. Tighten it up, cut away. And then what I like to do is I like to measure on the edge to see how this is going to match up when I put it all together. And that looks pretty darn accurate. Been doing a few of these, so I kind of know what I'm doing. Matches up real nice. So we're just gonna go with that. I'm gonna make 3 more of those for the 3 sides. I always need a nice corner on this edge because that's what's gonna show up. It doesn't make any sense right now, but as I make it, you'll see. So got one so far. there. Need one more. No, I'm saving you, I remember. Nice edge. Beautiful edge for some cheap wood. Alright. Cool. 41s, and then we're going to need 420s. That's not intentional, the fact that I said 420. That's just, I need 420 inches, not 420. Although maybe I do need it after this morning. So, we're going to go 21, but we should measure those first. Remember what I was saying? See what our exact is. And our exact is like just under 21 and a 16th on each side. So that's going to be good. We want 21 and a 16. There we go. Cut one and then test it. Do that. Nice piece of wood. We'll test this here so you guys can see. Want to make sure it fits almost perfect. If anything, just a little extra. Ooh, that's going to be super tight. So we're going to adjust that just a little bit. I think it'll still work, but I just want to add just a smidgen to it. I'm going to add just a smidgen to it that way so I make sure and fit them together. Oh, we're coming down straight on a knot here. Let's see how that works. Not that bad of a deal. Look at that edge, huh? That's a nice edge. I mean, considering what we're up to, gonna work just fine. Another piece of scrap. And how many more pieces of 20? We need 2 more 20s. Ooh, the wrong one. Let's go right in the line. It's a nice edge. No, shouldn't do that. Let's go this way. Knots really can make it when you buy cheap wood. One. And 2. So now you guys see it's going to get back to. Oof. That's not a good idea. That's a piece. This one's got a lot of. Try it one more time. Much cleaner. So now we got those 4. Put this back because we're going to need to cut that later. We're going to take these down for the second. Take the ones we already cut off. And now, because of, look at that, 13 minutes and I've already, let's see, that might be a better angle for us. There we go. Now we're going to join these. The joiner needs a little adjusting here. Got to raise the compressor up a little bit to fit the additional height. We're just going to put the staples right on top of each other. So I'm going to lock this adjuster down. So I just stick them in and stick 3 staples, L staples, right on top of each other so they just deep into this more vertical piece of wood. 1, 2, 3. Nice. We're going to bring this forward a little bit so we can fit it on that table there. See that edge sits down on there so I got something to rest on. Ooh, that's not so nice. There we are. Okay. 3. Was a little different size, but nobody's going to notice. And we're going to stick this over here, come this way. It'll fit in nice and snug. And we got the first one done. Look at that. That's a 20 by 40 outer edge for a floater. See that? And we're gonna do this one. Got the better edge. That's what it does. Turn. Alrighty then. Do. Wonderful how the joiner can get pieces of wood that match up so nicely when they don't look like they will. This over here, just like that. And one last corner. Hoping you guys can hear me all the way over there. Alrighty. There we go. So we've got the edges and the bottoms all together. So what I'm going to do now is try and situate the camera so that you can see what I'm doing over there on the table. Yeah, that'll work. Just like that. So we're going to take the bottoms that we made first, stick them down, and then stick this over the top of them around the outside. And look at that. Oh my God, that's just such a perfect fit. Look at that, it fits together wonderfully. See how that fits together? I haven't stapled. So now that I got it in there, what we do is we join them. I use a quick and dirty method. It's called a Brad nail gun. These are very cool. I'm on a wood floor, guys, and I'm not light, so that camera's gonna move as I walk around. But anyway, so there we go. Everything's even. Ooh, it's a little high. There. Ooh. Sometimes you fuck up with a Brad nail there, especially with a problem with camera. I got two nails that didn't go in perfectly, so we're gonna have to fix that. One, two, and three. One last side. Every side needs to be done. All right. Beautiful. So let's fix the two I screwed up. Pliers before, I imagine. Actually, should we try and push it down? Yeah, that's not going to be noticed. That one. Pull out the one that's obviously sticking out. And this one was pushed down. Alrighty. Beautiful. Now those are going to get painted because they're the base of the floater frames. Well, let's finish the second one. Base down, staples down. Let's hope that one fits. This new one fits. Oh, you guys fell. Shit. Didn't mean for you to fall like that, guys. How long have you been looking at me all crooked like that? Let's move this up just a little bit so you might be able to see some of my stupid ass. Ooh, I didn't say that, did I? Let's lock it a little bit more. There we go. Look at my space. Anyways, get in there. Sometimes wood isn't perfectly straight. There we go. Boy, that's nice. Look at that. Perfect. Alrighty. One. Two. Show you a little trick I have when they're not really tight. When I get to there, I'm going to use a clamp. Clamps are wonderful. You know, I never normally talk this much when I do this. Matter of fact, I usually have music on. This guy needs a clamp already. Just happen to have one right here. Kidding me. Oh my goodness. Something on the floor. I'm focusing too much on you guys and not my work. Look at that. That's too bad. This one is. And one last side. So if any guys know anything about Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, that's another topic of mine I'm really kind of into lately. Guess what? I'm out of nails. Out of nails. There we go. So, that. Wood is a really interesting material, and I'm being very, very impatient with it right now. Goodness, that is. That will do. So at this point, what I'd like to do is get some paint on these because they got to dry. And this new batch of paint I got from Home Depot, well, they must have sold me some cheap stuff, man. It takes forever for this paint to dry. And I made the mistake of buying a whole gallon of it. Either way, we're going to start painting. And I typically like to use a glove on one hand as to make it so when I can maneuver the lumber or the frame, I guess now, the way I please. that a little bit. Let's do that. Actually, let's bring this back. That. Very nice. Don't need to do anything with those. That's great. Stab anybody or anything. Splinters. Some nice lumber on here. And clean this stick off. I'm going to be painting. Yeah, this stuff's so thin, it's not even funny. Really disappointed in my Home Depot buy. The paint store across the street, and I was always worried that the paint store was so gosh darn much more than Home Depot, but tell you what, Sherwin-Williams, ever since they bought Frazee, and Frazee was good too before, that paint that I was getting from them, look at that run. That was just so much more thicker before, easier to put one coat on. I'll have to go over the top here that I'm doing once I, you know, in painting edges and corners like this, it's like the spray you think might be better, but trying to get each and every angle when it's not flat, you know, it's almost better to, less time consuming to just brush it like I am, it seems from my experience. Yeah. I bet you $20 if anybody ever watches this video, they're gonna fast forward. But anyway, yeah, it'll be good actually. I've not yet seen anybody make my Stinemates floater frames at the show. You know? Whenever I go to shows or at frame shops, these frames I'm making, they're totally custom made, you know? There's no molding manufacturer. I'm going straight from raw wood. You'll see at the end, I'll put on top of these a barnwood finish for the outside that's really, really cool and popular now. I seem to really do well. I've actually had quite a few people ask me to make frames for them, you know, which I really appreciate, considering I'm not a framer. I'm a fine artist. I'm a photographer. But I guess, you know, creation's the name of the game, and you go to a frame shop and you feel the same way I do about the selection of moldings they have. It's just no wonder I was kind of inspired or motivated to make something totally original now. Now all I'm doing is painting the side of the frame that's going to be exposed to the wall, the very back of the frame. I only get a little bit around the edge because it's just a waste of paint and time, and then when the frame sits and dries, if there's paint on the back a lot, it'll just stick to whatever it has to rest on top of. So you just put a little bit on the edge, like right here, that you can't even see I'm doing, but you can imagine what I'm doing. Just around the corner, just in case, you know. Just like to have a little bit extra on the edge, but definitely only paint the parts of the frame that are going to be visible. Maybe someday I'll have a spray booth and have it spray everything, but right now this is just the best way for me to do it. This is the way I do it, this is the way it works, right? That's how it's all about, guys. Doing what works. Now you're going to see my back. Well, in a second, you want to do this side first. And there we are. A little bit more. Moving right along. How long our video is at this point. Gosh, this is boring. This is not riots in the street. This is not the news. That is my back to you. Kind of see how I'm painting the back side of it just around the corner. This is a kind of encase. Everything's all flush right there. So now we're just going to go over the top again. make sure it's going to be good enough single coat. Maybe someday I'll have to actually get a microphone just in case I can be heard. I have a funny feeling that camera's not hearing me so well, although the acoustic in the space is kind of nice. So let's just go over really quick maybe. Let me finish the second one and then I'll kind of demonstrate, because that'll be best to move the camera that time rather than try and put it back. Well, that's pretty nice, it seems. Maybe just a little bit extra so I don't see any. There we go. Okay, so let's go put this down, let it dry on the ground. Ooh. One. There we are. Right in there. Beautiful. Number two. Let's see if I can show you on the camera. You can see here, the first one we did, the flat one, is right here, this part. Right here, can I paint it? No. This part right here. And then I took the other one and put it on the edge, and we've attached them. You can see here, it's flat. Probably here. Hey, yo, 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 Slattery saves. No, I am Slattery. Hey, what is, man? Good to see you. And so that's the other side, the back side, and this is the front side, where the print will actually sit with a little bit of space between the print. And this will come around the edge of the print and create a situation where the print looks like it's floating. Anyways, we'll just keep painting, show you guys what's up. Paint, simple, right? Here we go. Yeah, that I am Slattery stuff, that was a different person in a different life. I'm still kind of that same neurotic, angry, crazy. Shucks, you should have seen me this morning, guys. My space is amongst a lot of homeless, and there's a corner liquor store that sells $1 cans of malt liquor. Yeah, and so this morning wasn't good because I decided to tell somebody something I shouldn't have. I mean, they asked me simply, like, you know, how's your day? And I said something really dumb. I said, better than you. And that brought on about a quarter-mile walk of them following me all the way to my space, and then the liquor store on the corner, them looking for solace in that, and then a bunch of other people that are homeless that try to get them to gang up on me. One finally did, and the guy who did was really big. Well, probably as big as I am, but I still see that's big. I find that more of a threat than anything. I like my teeth. So I turned my back, found somewhere to meditate before I went into my space. And now I'm working with you guys. How's that? I don't even know if anybody... Are you still watching there? Hello? Yeah, you are. I'm going to check it out. I don't mean to work so hard. Oh, what did you say? Damn it, I can't read that stuff. Yo, 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 Slacker said. Yeah, that miter's killer. Transients go somewhere. These guys freaking... Transients go somewhere. Those freaking homeless people, they sit around and wait till they get $1 for their next. Half of them are looking for trouble, and they found it in me, unfortunately. Oh, what do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Transients, like you say. If they were transients, that means they're moving somewhere. These guys, nah. There's Chico. There's freaking Jesse, the guy I got in a fight with actually. He almost got killed and got run over by a car. These guys are mostly the same. Minus some of the black guys. I guess you could call them transients. And they're the ones I had the biggest problem with. You know, when somebody tells you, yeah, these guys aren't cruising the counties. These guys are cruising the liquor store on the corner and looking for a free dime off the fucking, excuse my language, off of the on-ramps. And off on-ramps, they sit there and, you know, what are they, freeloaders more than anything. Yeah. Yeah, but that freaking miter's pretty cool, huh, man? No dust, and it makes beautiful corners. Local riffraff, then. They only respect force. Yeah, the problem is I'm only so much force, and they still don't respect it once they heal. Alcohol is a wonderful memory forgetter, or whatever you want to call it. Generally try to avoid them because it makes... Shucks, it'd probably be more entertaining if I went out there and took you out there with me, huh? Yeah, we're about making frames, man. That's what we're doing. We're making Stinemates Floater Frames. That's what I do. I am no longer mad at the world and think that silver is going to save us. The only thing that's going to save us is in the mirror, guys. Doing things that matter. And I'll tell you what, making frames that nobody's ever made before, that really can matter. You know what I mean? People get inspired by seeing things they never saw before that they're enlightened by. And it's our job at some level to try and do that for ourselves and other people. Look at a new light. Bring some brightness into it all. And I'm using black paint while I say it. That's kind of funny. Yeah, it's good to see you, man. It's awesome that you're following this. I love that. Actually, somebody's paying attention to me. Oh, uh-oh, that wood right there is not feeling so good. What do you got? What do you got? They are. I thank you so much for saying that. They're beautiful. Bob Ross, he's my hero. There are no mistakes. Thank you for saying that. Oh, this is true entertainment. Now I'm really enjoying myself. The days are getting brighter, guys. Don't let the riff-raff transient losers of the free shit army try and recruit you into their mentality, man. The world is abundant beyond belief. It's abundant more than it ever has been. The human race has more opportunities ahead of it. And if we just embrace those and look out for one another and stop paying attention to the two that are gonna fight this weekend. Don't get me wrong, I hope somebody gets hurt really bad. I love watching that stuff because they're entertainers, no different than Kim Kardashian and the president. What are you saying, man? You're saying a lot. It's the new YouTube experience. No, it's DTube. We need to get off of YouTube, man. We need to get on DTube. Have you heard about Steemit? Have you heard about BitShares? Have you heard about Neo? I'm telling you what, there's a whole group of people making a ton of money off of new money. And this new money may be as fiat as the old fiat, but there's one thing that's for sure. It's not controlled by anybody, and there's an enormous amount of competition for it. Why is Bitcoin $4,300? Bitcoin's $4,300 because of the competition and the bankers and the powers that be. They may like it, they may not, who knows what they think, but I'll tell you one thing, they're nowhere near smart enough to be able to figure out how to make it on their own. There will be a new currency, and we can sit there and be a Chris Dwayne and whine and sell big dollar silver scribbles that are limited edition to people that we make fearful, or we can come up with a new paradigm on our own and force them into what we believe is best for us. Because the leeches out there in society. Why am I talking like this, dude? We're talking about black paint and floater frames, man. You're getting me back to where I came from before all this, dude. Dude, you're writing a ton of stuff too, man, and I can't read it unless I'm over there and I'm gonna screw up my paint job. There. Gotta do stretcher bars next. Is this all good? You think that's good? How does that look, guys, huh? How does that look? Look at that, look at that. Look at that, never stops. How exciting. I've never been so excited to make a frame. I gotta see what you're saying. This is good work to watch. Live camming and workshops. Dude, what else matters? It's all about contribution. We don't do anything in this life that's worth any value until we contribute, you know? And I'm sick of being a nagger. I'm the biggest nagger I know. I am Slattery, Jiminy Christmas. It's about making things work, brother. You the man. Dude, never oil. I ain't got no time for it to dry. That's latex. Don't let that dry. Don't let that dry. I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm going to put you in a position where I'll be able to read a little bit more. Hopefully I won't cut off my fingers in that miter saw, or chopper. miter chopper. Believe it or not, this miter chopper here, guys, this miter chopper here, this thing is freaking a design that dates back to the beginning of the century. Let's take this off. You the man. You the man. Yeah, do that. I'll throw that one away. I'm not that cheap. I usually try to save those things, but they're like 20 cents. Anyways, this miter chopper here, guys, check a load of this. Thing works with a foot pedal, and you push down on the foot pedal, and it brings the guillotine down. So when I push down, I can zoom out, and see how the guillotine goes down, and it chops it. And you'll see as I work how cool that is. Let's get this set up so you can see what I'm doing. There's the chopper. Now I need some weights on the back. Now we're just going to make the stretcher bars for the canvas. So I'm not going to paint them or do anything like that. I'm just making something so that we have the stretcher bars. I actually make my own stretcher bars now. I used to buy them all prefabbed, but I got the good stuff, man. 1.25 inch. Look at that. That's from Brazil. I wish I could say it was from here. The stuff from here is 4 times as much, and it's bigger. And I don't need that. I need just what I need. So we're doing 20 by 40s. So we're gonna make, what do you say? Not even, dude. I get this stuff for cheaper than I do from the place that makes them in China. The guys in China were starting to use this wood that was like worse than balsa wood. It was like plastic. And they try to push it over and like, good. The pre-cut ones I was getting for the last few years, I just got this stuff. Believe it or not, I'm only gonna say this once. Ooh, that's about to fall. You know how much I get this stuff for a foot? Ooh, this stuff from Brazil? I get this stuff from Brazil for less than should I say how much? The saw is not expensive. That thing's not a saw, it's a guillotine. It's a guillotine, what you need to use on the bankers. No, this is a guillotine and it's not expensive. You can get one of these. I got this thing used for pretty darn cheap. Slattery does frame, but I'm an artist. Please don't make me turn into a framer. I'm not a service-based business. Service-based business has killed me for 15 years. I am a manufacturer. I make stuff and I sell stuff. And I carry an inventory. That's the only hard part of it. But selling stuff makes it so when people walk into my booth and they don't like it, I can say bye. In a service-based business, you gotta make everybody happy. I don't wanna make people happy. I want them to be happy. So anyways, we're making some 20 by 40 stretcher bars. Got them right. See, that's just a guillotine, and it just makes some friggin' pieces of chunks of wood. That's all it does is make chunks of wood, you know? And actually, compared to a regular miter saw, I'm actually losing 1/8 inch of wood less because of all that sawdust. And these things are more accurate. Do you want to autograph my frames? All my frames are original. My prints come with autographs on them, and they also come with certificates of authenticity. Yeah, I understand. They come with certificates of authenticity, but I don't know about my frames. My frames are just my frames, man. Hopefully, if they ever copy me, they just put the name on them. I'm dedicating it to a friend of mine, and hopefully they'll continue that tradition if they ever decide to make them or copy them off me. This Brazilian wood's really nice. It's actually a lot stronger than that pine. Tell me that's 20. Tell me I'm paying attention to what I'm doing and I'm not screwing up. Is that 20? Is that 20? That's 20. Dude, we're turning this into an entertainment show. It's supposed to be educational. Now I'm being entertaining. Oh, man, that's hard. Man, this one's tough. The 220s, we're gonna need 4 and 4, like before, 220s, 240s. A little softer. One more 20. Well, that wasn't very smart. I got an extra one right. Oh, never mind. That was scrap. And I'm grabbing them from the wrong pile. Shit. Shoot. I meant to say shoes. So I got 2 there, 2 there. You're still there, huh? Sweet. Now we're doing 40s. Advice, whenever you're using a Morso chopper like this and the wood is really hard, make smaller cuts. Make your life a lot easier. You won't have to put both feet on it like you've been watching me do. 40. You want to measure this one? Okay, I'll measure it. Is that 40? Is that 40, guys? Can't tell. Is that a 40? It looks like 40 to me, doesn't it? It looks like 40 to you. Sometimes you can't measure twice before you cut once, so you deal with what you're given, man. You do the best with what you've been given. So we need some 40s. Need to rotate this. Put this over here. Two more, man. 2 more. How's it going? Internet. How is it going? It's heavy. That's strong. Too fat. I'm gonna break something, huh? Probably cut my finger. 1 more of these bad boys. Okay. I'm watching on the clock. Look, that's 40. My job's in high school. Great question, man. I couldn't get a job when I wanted at 8 years old when I wanted my first camera. My mom wouldn't let me get a job because it was illegal back then to get a job before you were 12. So I had to wait till I was 12 to get a job. And the reason I wanted a job, guess why? Because I wanted a 35mm camera. And so I had to wait 4 years in order to get, because my mom wasn't going to spend hundreds of dollars on a 35 film camera. So I got a job at 12, started doing newspaper routes, saved up a bunch of money, and finally got my first 35. But I didn't stop working. I ended up with the milkman. I used to do work at the age of, I think it was 13 through 15, 16 years old. I used to get up at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning on school days, twice a week, and go with the milkman and deliver milk door to door. Back in the day, I'm that old. Yeah, we used to deliver milk door to door. But it was after glass bottles, obviously. They were plastic, but we even sometimes got to go in people's houses and rotate the old dairy with the new dairy. Get chased by dogs, crazy stuff like that. I almost got ran over by the truck once. And then from there, I ended up working in pizza and restaurants, just like anybody from Southern California. And after that, by the time I was 18, I ended up in construction, doing stuff in carpentry, mostly pickup work and laborers. And that worked out okay, but by the time I was 21, I was like, dude, this is not gonna work, because I'm gonna have to retire, old crickety man with pains and stuff, so I'm gonna be a photographer. And so at 21, I moved downtown. I had a brand new car at the time. I drove it to the bank and I said, I don't wanna make any more payments. I'm gonna do a voluntary, oh, fuck you. I'm not that old. I didn't say that. All right, I'm old. Yeah, it dates me. Yeah. I'm not gonna finish this story now. Yeah, so I moved downtown back in '89 and became a commercial photographer. And I was a commercial photographer from, I got my first check from somebody for a shoot, a model shoot of these rich Brazilian boys. Their mother paid me, I think I got paid $300 for that. They paid me to do a photo shoot of them, and I was really stoked. And from there, I just started my studio eventually. And for 15 years, I was a commercial photographer. It wasn't until 2003 that I came up with this technique that I'd use to create my artwork. And in 2003, after working in the commercial photography industry, I knew damn well I didn't want to, oh no, we're not, dude. We got a long way to go. I'm finishing it. I'm gonna get it. So I keep 2003. I came up with this technique, my luminism technique of photography, much like the Frederick Edwin Church and Thomas Cole luminism, American history art of art. Some of the greatest art that ever came out of this country was the luminism movement in the 1850s and 60s in the Thomas Cole Hudson River Valley School of Luminism. I think they were using camera obscura and some technology they weren't sharing with people, because these people were, the Thomas Cole and the Frederick Edwin Church, they came from some sort of wealth and technology. Their parents, Frederick Edwin Church's father was a printer, stuff like that. And then Thomas Kincaid. I just incorporated that kind of light painting into my photography, and exactly, very much so. And started trying to sell online with my photography in 2005, and I couldn't sell anything online from 2005 all the way through till 2008, until I finally went to a farmer's market. And when people see stuff physically and they can hold it, it's seen, and they can see with their eyes instead of off of a screen, a monitor like this, there's a difference. In the art world, there's a difference, at least from what I can gather, because I've been trying hard to sell online, and my only success comes from going to the shows. And this, all of me manufacturing, is kind of a byproduct, because I've turned into kind of a control freak. I've always been a control freak when it came to my imaging and my photography and doing things in the lab, and it's just kind of extended into the manufacture of my product. So, which is really cool. Nobody's got product like me. Man, I owe you a print, man. I gotta get you a print, dude. Which one's your favorite? You got a favorite yet? I've been asking. Anyways, how many more? This is my last one. That's what 200 pounds and 240 pounds get you, man. Look at that. Look at that corner. How clean is that? That's with the guillotine blade, not a saw blade. Look at that. All right. So you want to watch me make stretcher bars? Are we making stretcher bars? Let's make some stretch bars. 40 inchers. Now I got to work on dilemma. We got a space dilemma here, because I got this stretcher bar. I got that there. I want to do it on here. Dang nabbit. Making stretcher bars. Matisse nude, blue nude. I don't have any Matisse, but I can print them. You should see some of the prints I've taken off of these museums of, like, Rembrandt. I got this one of Rembrandt. Check this out. It's gorgeous. It's the one of the Jesus on the Sea of Galilee when he performed one of his, like, it was considered as significant as when he walked on water. These are the cheap frames I have, but they're nice. Anyways, it's a favorite painting of mine. Jesus was sleeping and this storm came up, according to the Bible. When the storm came up, all of his disciples like, how can you dare say you're Jesus? We're about to die here in this storm. And right after he woke up, he's like, oh, I got this, guys. Watch out. Anyways, look at the facial expression he's got when they're waking him up that Rembrandt created. Oh, can you see that, the reflection? Dang it. Let's move it this way a little bit. There we go. Look, they're all waking him up and bothering him. The funniest thing I find about this picture is this dude right here with his arm on the thing staring at us. No, that's the wrong guy. This guy. No, that's not him. This guy right here. See the way he's looking at the camera? I'd almost say that's Rembrandt going like, can you believe this story? Like somebody's taking a picture of him and he's like watching him take a picture. Great, great image, man. This image just really is impactful. Everything from the way the water is crashing on the front of the boat to the story. You can read the whole, I mean, just look at the image and it reeks of the story that you read about in the Bible. Yeah, so it's pretty cool, huh? Look at the confidence of the old man. He's looking at the kid like, really? Jesus, are you serious? It's a great image, huh? The guy holding on to the top of you gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yeah, and that's luminism to me, you know, that kind of painting. You see the way the light falls on the subjects, and he controls the light so he has it fall on different faces like he wants. Kind of like what I do with my landscapes. So now we're going to stretcher bar. What do you got there? No doubt. Thanks, man. I couldn't agree more. Rembrandt was a freaking hero. Godsend. Okay, so now we're gonna make some stretch bars. All right, I'm gonna see if I can do this without the table, leaving the table. Okay, that's too far. I need to go a little bit. Need to make some minor adjustments, and if in due time we'll get some equipment so that we can do some better photography if this works out, some better videos of my process. And this is gonna be good enough all the way to there. Yeah, all the way back, together. Pressure at the right level. And we're on like Donkey Kong making stretcher bars. I don't have all the wood over here. Maybe I should move it so you don't have to walk by the camera all the time. I'm gonna put this right here. Racha. Dude, so tell me what kind of work it is you got going there, man. I didn't know you had a job. I thought you were living off the grid, independently wealthy kind of guy. You still spinning, DJ? Dude, the Swami was the best. When you said the price of silver is going to go up, I know the price of silver is going to go. And you said it's going to go up or it's going to go down. Dude, I was laughing for days. I watched that video like 50 times. More than that, 150,000 times. Okay, this shit. Moving the camera's not what I want to do. All right. Look at that. This almost done. Almost done. Almost done. This is a 1 1/4 inch stretcher bar. I'm gonna put it back on it. You do spin, no way. That's great, man. That's awesome, I love to hear that. Same music? Are you doing like weddings? What kind of spinning you doing, man? Ah. Badass. I'm gonna rip that. Wait. You're studying, I know, Jiu-Jitsu AMT, but I follow you, man, I got you. You want to produce a good. Dude, it's the best thing you could ever do in life. Manufacturing, doing things that people want. A boutique good. Dude, I know guys that are making lasers. I know guys that are taking junk and making stuff that people buy, like junk leather and making bracelets. Dude, there's so many ideas out there for to do this. I really kind of almost regret manufacturing art because it's so big and it takes so much effort to move around and stuff. Granted, house music in lounges. How is that a good though? Isn't that a service when you play music, kind of like performance? What do you mean a boutique house? Say that again, what'd you write? Boutique, it's genius. You get to control it, you know? You're not subject to serving. Oh, wait, what do you got? What do you got? San Fran, cruise the circuit. Dude, who does not want to be a rock star? Dude, what do you think I'm doing? This whole thing is all about me growing up to be a rock star. Make this a lot easier having a conversation, but I know I'm going to screw something up. Alright, one last one of these. And then after this, we're going to make the outside of the floater frame the ta-da! Number 2 floater frame. Stretcher bar. What do you got? Dude, you have a broadcast studio on YouTube, man. What are you talking about? You need to put that stuff on there, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna give so much more back. Bring the Swami back. Where's the Swami? Where's the Swami? I want to see some of that smoke. Wait, is it value you can sell? Produce something of value that you sell. And for me, this information society and all these digital marketers selling all these promises of $1 billion on wealth on the web, imbued with quality and craftsmanship. Dude, you've got it, man. I know you've got it capable in you. I've seen you pull it. So, just a matter of effort and sacrifice. How much you're willing to sacrifice. Hey, have you seen the gallery? Look at the gallery, man. Look at that. It's all my work. All my work. And then I got some stuff of Italy, dude. Went to Italy with a girl. I showed you that, didn't I? Oh, the light's not on it yet. Well, this is Sorrento. This is Ravello. This is Sorrento again. This is Positano. This is the one that's making the trip worth it all, man. This one right here. Going there was magic. Actually, this place was kind of a jet set, more expensive than the rest of Italy kind of place. And once you got outside of it, like Minardi, Ravello, man, things were cheap. I got a pair of like slip-on leather, handmade cobbler crafted shoes for like 50 euro. I mean, I paid for some slip-ons here from Nordy's at the rack for like 80. She had to have me dress up in something nice. Okay, so now we're gonna do the outside of the floater frame, which you can see here is the rustic wood. So this is the inside where you saw it painted black, and then this is where the outside of it fits, and you can see here, when it's all done and said with, how the print sits inside of it. You can see that, where you can see there's a print inside of my floater frame. And I'm not going to make the whole thing, because that's too hard. No, dude, you are legit. I'm faking it till I make it. You should see the work too. The photography is really nice as well. All right, so now we got to make one last video with this stuff. I'm gonna break something, I know it. All right, so now we're gonna take the barn wood. Believe it or not, this is the most expensive wood that you will see here. That nice Brazilian wood that's really well cut, that stuff is 1/7 the price of barn wood. Recycled barn wood from Texas can go for as much as freaking, what do they pay in Texas? I know guys that are paying to do interior walls for some of these custom new little shops, paying like $8 a foot. Granted, it's not the 3-inch stuff, 3.5, it's like 8-inch, but still, it's like, I know a guy who paid $8 a foot for this stuff. I pay a lot, but I don't pay that much. So anyways, we gotta make these things 3/4 of an inch bigger in order to create that little gap that I've got that makes them so legit. And they gotta be really accurate, and it's tough with this wood because it's all used and dried up barn wood that doesn't stay straight. So anyways, we gotta do 21 3/4 4 times and 41 3/4 4 times. And that really sucks because these pieces of wood that they send me, they're only 60 inches. So I get these big pieces left at the end that really things up for me because, you know, a piece of wood like this is worth a couple of bucks and I sometimes can't use it, which I've invented a small frame for in consideration. Invented a small piece for so I can make small frames out of that stuff. Because I don't want to be throwing away a big chunk of wood that cost me that much money. So, here we go with the guillotine chopper. This is a Morso guillotine chopper. Notice how there is no electricity, no blades, and I'm cutting pieces of wood so beautifully. It's not even funny. This is a piece of junk wood, so it's not a good example. Review the video, see how nice and accurate I got some of that Brazilian and pine wood to come out. So it's the inside corner that's 21 3/4. Over here, 21 3/4 right there, and 22, double check. Check the 3rd time, and we're off. Actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut the 40 inches first. I'm gonna cut 40 inches first because I think I'm gonna be able to get a 40 incher out of this. Aren't I 41 3/4? Or am I screwed? I'm totally screwed. Shit. Now we're back to 21 3/4 and then just do them separately. Son of a gun. Man, this stuff's expensive. I gotta charge more for this stuff. Now that you got me thinking about prices. That's the thing about buying something used. It doesn't always work right. Make sure these are in here. matter how well built they are, they still. That's 2. This is too short for anything. Are we saying anything? We got 2 people watching me. This is freaking awesome, guys. I love you. Sometimes the barnwood comes in different thicknesses, so you kind of want to make sure things are similar, you know? There's some things. This is 1/40 incher, 41 3/4 incher. Let's do this 41 3/4. We're gonna end the video soon, guys. I'm sorry to say, the paint's got to dry. Maybe I'll take you up and do some printing with you. But that'll be the end of it. Cause yes, B. The blades are wood. They're steel. They're not carbide. They're like some heavy steel. And I think what's more important than the material is how they're sharpened. I've grown to learn is how these blades are sharpened. And I've written down the exact kind of sharpening technique, but the sharpening place that the people tell me to go to in LA makes some junk. When I called the manufacturer, I actually bought some OEM blades. This thing's manufactured in Holland, and they still make these things. I think this one's from the 80s. Yeah, to get the blade sharpened, I have to ship them to the Midwest because the places here that sharpen blades, they're hacks. And they don't do it properly, and I don't get proper cuts if I use local. And that's why you don't see a lot of these at frame shops, because they're really particular, and you got to know your deal. And I had to go through a bunch of pain and suffering in order to learn. Isn't that what it's about? It's about succeeding at finding out what doesn't work. Nothing else matters. All right, that's a 40. Need one more dim. One more dim. Dang, dude. Is this gonna be 21? That's not gonna be 21, is it? It's too short. Too short. Shorty short. That'll be good. And we'll do the other side. Here we go. I bet the people outside think I'm crazy. People that can hear me on the street, I got my front door open. I think I'm crazy, man. So I got 2 41s. I got 3 pieces left, exactly what I need. There's some junk right there. Turn those into 15s. Alrighty. Do the other side, right? Oh, that's a pretty side. Look at that. Look at that wood. Look at how pretty that old wood is. People love barnwood. And it's gray, so it matches anything for home decor wise stuff. So I'm going to do 2 40s now. And then we'll go back to the other one. This should be good. One thing about the barnwood, it's soft. Go right through it like butter. Watch out, that blade will cut your finger off in a heartbeat. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. Otherwise you're gonna watch me cut my finger off. Don't hope for that. Don't hope to watch me cut my finger off, because that would really suck. Scrap. I can turn that scrap into money, maybe. Or I can just leave it there and make it into barnwood. You got any barnwood? You got any barnwood? Hey fellas, who's gonna win McGregor and Mayweather? I sure want to see Mayweather put that guy into like a concussion. I would love it. I've never seen anybody, I don't care what race or where they're from, I've never seen somebody talk like that guy with a red beard.
That dude with the red nag. Guy whines all the time about how much money he's got. A nag. Dude's a nag. I want him to see us get his ass. We'll get back in the gym in the ring with Diaz. Fight somebody who knows how to really fight. Stop using your mouth. Stop bringing everybody to the level of thinking that all that matters is money. Stop making people believe you actually work and using that word to describe what you do. That guy doesn't work. He masturbates. And we are entertained by it. It's that simple.
Wish he would grow up.
At least Merriweather knows some of that, you know?
But I'm afraid we're about to see a new paradigm in sports.
I bet you we're going to see NFL go to the sidelines. Yeah! We're going to see NFL take down the sidelines, and we're going to watch MMA turn into the gladiator fighting. And as soon as we see somebody die in an honorable fashion, it'll become respectable. Oh no. I'm Irish and I don't even want to see that guy win. Nah. If he does, it's going to be just like he did against Aldo. Merriweather won't see it coming. And that's what his game is, you know? I'll give you that. Oh well, I still like you. And 2 last 20s. Here we go. Here we go, here we go. Yeehaw! Get that. Get all that stuff into one spot. Don't want to be spreading that all over the place. Oh no, we're going to 21. 21 is too cold. That's the last one I got. Shit. All right, you know what I'm going to do now, because you've seen me make these frames. I think we're going to go upstairs. We're going to print, and I think I'm going to see what I do is I've got everything networked. I've got, you're going to see here, this is a gallery. There's my gallery. And there's all the media. That's a big plant. See my wonderful plant. I keep it alive. I can't believe it. Anyways, here's the print room. This is my print room. There's the big printer. Can you see it? Right there. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's only obvious with human evolution. The only thing I'm really looking forward to that I've never seen is, or like at least understood, is, you know, I used to hate Bitcoin. You know that, right? I used to hate it. And just this past week, I've did some, yeah, exactly. I'm Running Man. Great analogy. There's a ton of stuff that's relevant to today. Hey, that stuff's not important. Look, what's important is that's my printer. That is prints. My friend, my buddy, you know what he says? He says that prints money. Well, I have 2 of those, so that's pretty cool. Here's the money. And here's the machine. So what I'm going to do, well, first what I got to do, that's the print station. And I print from the print station because when I print over the network, things get blocked. It's not as good as it used to be because I got a Windows 10 system upstairs where I do my workstation work. And that Windows 10 station has got ICC profiles that are jacked, man. So what I do is I make sure, look, I got a skylight. Look at that. What I do is I make sure that the main workstation is up and running, so it's not going to fall off the network. And I'll access, oh, I have to restart because it's on the wrong gosh darn drive. So let's do this, let's do that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to restart the system and then replug in the other hard drive so I can access the files that we need to print. I got an order this weekend at Burlingame. Burlingame was awesome, man. Wasn't awesome. It could have been better, but it was really decent. Sold a bunch of prints of the local area, and people were really excited about their hometown, which was really cool to see. It's not always the case when I do these shows. Okay, so now that the system is shut down, is it shut down? Battery, the lights go off, and the hard drive's off. And there we go. So we're going to switch to the good hard drive. I turn it off just for safety. Even though I've got really redundant drives and stuff like that, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and blast off. Even though I've got redundant drives, I like to not just disable the drive, but turn the system off. I don't know if you've ever had a hard drive go out, but boy, it's not a good thing. So here, my main monitors, yeah, I got a Predator, but the ICC profiles in it are jacked. Just jacked. Why isn't the other monitor? There it goes. So, okay. So what I like to do typically is make sure that the drive is accessible. So now I know it's on the network. And now we're going to go back downstairs to the main workstation that has Windows 7 ICC profiles that give you much better color for my prints. I'm going to go to that station. I'm going to open up the files, and we're going to print them. You know what, guys? We're at 1 hour and 16 minutes. I gotta go to the bathroom, and I don't know, watching me print on a monitor, I gotta resize. It's a bunch of boring stuff, and unless you're a Photoshop geek, and if you are, you probably already know what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna come back later on today, after the paint dries, and finish everything. I'll stretch the canvases with you, and I'll finish the floater frames and put them together. But I think this is it. I really appreciate you guys watching. It's fun as heck. Gotta say stuff I normally don't. Oh, no doubt. Hard drive's going out. Terrible. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And look for me in I don't know, a few hours. I'll be, paint should be closer to dry, maybe a little bit longer. And I'll be finishing those because I have to ship them too. Maybe I'll even show you how I make the boxes when I ship FedEx. Peace out. Later, man. Thanks for watching, man.